Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach, and today I'm talking about before you give up on her, watch this video. Okay, so what you don't want to happen is you don't want to let this experience with this woman ruin your romantic life, and I've seen this happen quite a lot, and it's very, very sad to see. Okay, because life can be so much more different for these men, but what's happened is that they get hung up on one woman, and it may have even been the first love of their life, someone who they met at school, right? And because it didn't work out, because perhaps maybe she friend zoned or rejected, or perhaps you only dated for a little while and then she broke up with you, what happened is that these guys who've had these experiences then decide that love's just not for them, and they're just going to let it go because it didn't work out with that one woman. And it may be the case that it's not just one woman, it's happened multiple times. But the thing is that what's happened is they got stuck in a cycle of attracting the same kind of woman. Because more likely than not, if you keep on having the same experience, whether it's just happened with you once or even multiple times, and you've met multiple women in your life and the same thing keeps on happening, it's because you've trapped yourself in some kind of cycle that you're not conscious of, right? It's a very subconscious thing that's happened to you, right? It's something that is just, it's all like a program, right? It's just been embedded into you. And it may be because you grew up in a household where you didn't feel safe, or you didn't feel very loved, your self-esteem was knocked out of you, and you got yourself into a cycle of, I'm going to attract women into my life who don't want me, or who don't treat me very well, or who keep on dumping me. And that's the cycle that you've got yourself into. Okay, and obviously it probably wasn't your fault, because it probably came from another place. Like, your parents didn't give you the self-esteem that you needed, or it was some other thing that happened in your life that just knocked the self-esteem out of you. And there was a quote from a book, and it was a movie as well, called The Perks of Being a Wallflower. And the quote was something like, we accept the love we think we deserve. So if you keep on attracting women who don't love you, don't respect you, or keep friend zoning you, it's because on some subconscious level, you think you deserve that. Okay? So in order then to attract women who do want you, is you've got to be, first of all, open to the possibility. You've got to open your heart up and be open to the possibility that there is a woman out for you. You can't give up, okay? Now, you may have to give up on this one woman, right? This one woman who's left you heartbroken. Yes, it's probably a good idea to let her go, but you've got to come to a resolve within yourself and say, I'm not going to let this happen to me again. I'm going to find the love that I know I deserve. And what is the love that you deserve? The love that you deserve is from a woman who reciprocates interest, who is just as into you as you are into her, right? Who is kind to you, loving to you. And that is 100% a total possibility. It 100% is. I don't care how you think about yourself. I don't care if you think you're too poor. I don't care if you think that you're too ugly, whatever, or you're not, or you're too short, whatever it may be, whatever label that you've put upon yourself to make you believe that you're not good enough. I've seen men who are with beautiful, gorgeous women and short. I've seen men who are with gorgeous women and they're poor and short. Okay? I've seen it. I've witnessed it. I was once working in a warehouse, and there was a guy who was short, he was bald, right? He was probably the same height as me, and I'm 5'4", right? And he had this beautiful, I don't know what her nationality was, but she was just gorgeous. And when I stopped working there, I saw them a few years later. We were living in the same apartment flat building, and she was pregnant, right? And they were so happy, and they had this small flat, because all the flats that were here were really tiny, yeah, because in England we have like really small buildings. Even our houses are small, so our flats are even smaller. Basically, our apartments are even smaller. And she was totally head over heels in love with him. They worked in a warehouse where it's like pretty much minimum wage. And he was short. And yet he had this beautiful girl who loved the crap out of him. She was so passionate about him. It's 100% possible to be poor, to be short, to be bald, because this guy didn't have any hair either, and to still get a chick who absolutely adores him. It was just so affirming to see, especially with the work that I personally do and what I was studying at the time, and trying to apply myself. It was so nice to see that happen, to see a guy who probably could have had so many excuses about himself, like, I have a low paying job, I'm short, I don't have any hair on my head, whatever it may be, and yet he still had this gorgeous woman who just loved the crap out of him. And years later, she was carrying his baby, right? It was so it's possible. It's 100% possible. So you've got to have that inside you. You've got to believe that it's possible. Because if you don't believe that it's possible, then yeah, that's what you're always going to see. If you're like, oh, I'm tired, I'm just tired of, I'm just so tired of women, and I'm just so tired in life, I just don't have the energy, I just don't have the, everything's just been beaten out of me. You can find it. If you're still breathing, you've still got the chance, you've still got the opportunity. And it's 100% possible. You've just got to be open to the possibility. And when you become open to possibilities, that's when you start to see things happening for you. Okay, and that's when you can start breaking out of that cycle. So what you need to do is you've got to become focused on what you want. Okay, you got to forget about the things that have happened in the past. You've got to forget about the women that have rejected you, friend zoned you, broken up with you, whatever it may be. Okay, you've got to forget about those. And you've got to write down a list of the kind of woman that you want to meet. Okay, so what is her hair color? What is her nationality? What's her weight? What kind of attitude does she have towards life? You know, what's her personality like? What are her likes? What are her interests? Okay, got to write that all down, but become it completely clear on the kind of woman that you want, and ignore the rest. Okay, you might want to write down some deal breakers as well. So yeah, I don't want to meet a woman, because you've met some women in your past. Maybe it was that one woman who broke your heart. You've got to think about, okay, so I don't want to attract that kind of woman in my life ever again. So I've got to write down the things that are about her that I didn't like. Perhaps she was mean to you. Perhaps she friend zoned you. Perhaps she didn't respect you. Perhaps she dumped you. So you're like, okay, I want to meet a woman who's committed to me. I want to meet a woman who reciprocates interest 100%. Perhaps she likes me even and loves me even more than I love her. And just focus on those things and write down what it is that you want, and write down those deal breakers too that you don't want. Perhaps you got cheated on. You write, okay, well, I don't want someone who's cheated. I don't want to attract that kind of energy into my life anymore. Become clear on what you want. So grab that piece of paper, write down what you want, write down what you don't want, and then just review this every day. Keep an eye on it, and then when you're out in the world, because you're focused on what you want, you're going to be starting to be drawn to those kinds of women, and you're going to be looking out for them. Okay, and you're going to be more focused. And then what you're doing then is you're now focused on the future, and you're no longer focused on the past. Because if you're focused on these past women, this past heartbreak, then you're living in the past. Okay, so you've got to focus on the future and be open to the new possibilities in your life. And I guarantee it's 100% possible. Okay, and if you'd like more help and more tips on attracting beautiful women, then you can go and read Attracting the Beautiful Woman of Your Dreams on my website completely for free. Okay, it's completely for free. And all you have to do is go to www.christineloveridge.com, then click on the menu, then click on the book, and you go straight there to the book. You don't need to log into the website, you don't need to sign up for anything. It's just directly there on the website. You can find it for free. Okay, if you want a physical copy, you can, but it's not necessary, because everything in the physical copy is still on the website. Okay, there's nothing different in here than there is on the website. I'm not withholding any information from you. Okay, and there's also as well, I've got plenty of videos here on YouTube that you can watch that can help you as well. If you do need help with a specific situation, but again, it's not necessary, because you can pretty much get everything you need in this book or in my videos. Then you can go to, again, the same website, www.christineloveridge.com. And then you can select whichever coaching option works best for you, if you need help with that specific situation. But again, it's not necessary. Everything that I know is here online, whether it's through the book or through my videos. You may need to watch a bunch of videos, sure, watch a few ads, whatever it may be, but it's all here for you. Okay, and that's one thing that will always be present. I'm not going to delete these videos. The only way that we would lose these videos is you'll lose these videos is if YouTube like just shuts down or something like that. Okay, but anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally, then you know what to do. Go to www.christineloveridge.com, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.